Wherever you will go, you can see this piece of furniture. At home, at your friend's home, at school, at work, in cafes, at stations. In fact, anywhere. We're always happy to see this thing because it's associated with comfort. So let me introduce you to an ordinary chair. It's so nice to just sit on it. Now, the chair is an integral part of our lives. It's hard to imagine how we coped without it. Of course, you could just sit on a bed, but it's quite problematic. It's hard to move it around the room to the place that you need. Or, for instance, imagine standing by the computer at work all day. It's not convenient, is it? So, it's impossible to do without chairs. Nowadays, many models and types of chairs have been created. This thing really attracts designers. They create chairs out of so many different things. Out of tennis balls, felt cloth, pencils, blocks for children, rags, and even paper. There are even edible chairs made out of bread and buns. Actually, there is also an electric chair, but let's not talk about sad things like that. Usually, this piece of furniture is associated with comfort. It brings out positive emotions. It's interesting, how was the first chair created? The Egyptians are credited with having invented chairs. They fastened backs to the usual stools to sit comfortably during long palace ceremonies. In ancient Rome, a chair was a symbol of power. The emperor sat on a throne, and many noble citizens or important state civilians carried chairs with them. Just imagine, a person goes down the street followed by a slave carrying a folding chair, and everybody knows this is an important person. For example, a judge or prosperous merchant. Do you know that chairs used to serve as banks? Banks where you keep your money. In the 14th and 15th century, a novelty was introduced by merchants. A box with a back to it. Merchants would put their money in the box and then just sat on it. What about you? Would you like to sit on some money? As for men of fashion who wore coattails, chairs were like a punishment. They had to sit facing the backs of the chairs so as not to crush their tails. Chairs began to be mass-produced only in the 19th century, when a carpenter called Michael Tonnet decided to make this piece of furniture from a bent wood. Chairs became much cheaper, and by the end of the 19th century, 50 million chairs had been made. Nowadays, chairs are not just beautiful and original, they are also functional. For example, a wicker chair whose back curves high at the top, arching over a person and has a lamp in it. It's very convenient and you don't need to buy a lamp. If you can't imagine your life without a computer, here you are. A computer monitor is attached to an extended front section to become part of the chair, with a keyboard attached to the arms. Nowadays, no refined or aesthetic interior can do without chairs. A chair means comfort, functionality, and mobility. Throughout the history of mankind, different types of chairs have been created. But what kind of chair are you dreaming about?